Welcome to my last video of 2021, and to finish it out, I'm going to give you guys some pretty harsh truths about making money as an artist. My opinions that I'm going to say in this video are definitely not going to be popular, and to be honest, I don't really see them as opinion. They're pretty much fact from my point of view, but it needs to be said. This is coming from a lot of complaints that I've just heard and made myself about things that we are stressed out about in the art community, such as having to do the same thing all the time, having to follow trends in order to get popular and get accolades, having to promote ourselves, and then also just the limited growth and exposure as Instagram is starting to crack down on videos, and different social media. They keep ranking up the algorithm, cranking it up and making the things that aren't as viral or sensational get less and less attention. But I think there's an important understanding that needs to be made with how us artists view ourselves and our value to other people. I think too many of us have this hidden or very conscious romantic art mindset about becoming this artist that is able to do whatever they want to do and are supported by a large audience that loves their work, and they're able to just create freely and have no limits and express themselves and just continue to do that until the end of time. But the reality is that is why we have this starving artist concept, because it takes a long time to build a career like that, and we are absolutely not entitled to be able to do whatever we want and be supported through that. So to put things in better perspective, in this world, as human beings, we have to work in order to get the things that we need to survive. So food, for example, you're not going to get food for free, whether you pay for it by working the earth or by working for someone else to give you money so that you can buy it from someone who also worked the earth to get it to come out of the ground. That's just how life is. In order to get value, you have to give value. And the reality is you cannot get value by only doing what you love unless you're doing it in service to others. So this is similar to a realization I made earlier in my career, where the people who seem to deserve all the money in the world don't really get enough. And the most basic reason for that is that they simply aren't giving value to enough people. You may save someone's life, but that's only one person, whereas a comedian can make millions of people laugh every night, and so therefore they get paid a lot more money. In art, we have to be able to create value for other people. We need to be able to do what we love, but in a way that makes somebody else feel like it was worth it for them. It must be something that they want. And this is true regardless if you're working in a studio, if you're working freelance, or if you're working as an independent artist. A doctor gives value to his patients by healing them, by helping their body heal, by providing medication, advice to them, whatever, any type of doctor, they provide value like that to individuals. A comedian will provide value by making people laugh and make them happy. Same thing with actors. Depending on the movie type, they are entertained, they're thrilled, they're scared, they feel something, and they enjoy themselves. A lot of people complain about how Disney has gone the cheap route with, doing all of this CG stuff, and everyone wishes for the days of 2D animation, but the reality is that's what the people want. The people love the 3D stuff. Every year they ramp it up to be better and better and more realistic and more lifelike, and the animation is even more fluid, and people come out in droves and they pay more money to see more and more amazing animations and effects. And that's just how it is. Disney sure could make a pretty decent living, I'm sure, by just continuing the 2D animations from old, but they wouldn't grow. They would not be nearly the size that they are today. And that's just because people want different things as time goes forward. In a studio environment, let's say you're working for Disney, you provide value to them by working on the things they need for the big project. But that might not be something that you actually enjoy. I mean, nobody really almost ever wants to work on something for somebody else more than the thing that they can do for themselves. A lot of times you'll see what artists do when they get home, when they post online. It's the fun, expressive stuff that they really let loose to create, but the things that they do every day at work might be way more mundane and less interesting. As a freelance artist, you're still contracted to work on specific things and parts of a project. Even if it's on a very loose, short schedule, it's still something that they need from you. They might need it in a way that you can do it, but it's still something that they are tasking you to do, and it's giving them value. But you might ask, well, as an independent artist, I'm just making my prints and I'm doing pretty well selling them. And yes, that may be true, but there's also a ton of things that we usually as artists don't like doing that we have to be able to do. So this is things like marketing, business tactics, business strategies, promotion, market research, and following trends. These are all things that are not really part of the nice, fun, romantic, dreamy artist way that we all want to be. We're pretty much born with, that we have to learn in order to be successful. And I struggle with it too. It's still something that I have to push myself to do to promote myself for different things. It's still a struggle to make sure that, hey, I don't have to be the very best person in the world at this thing. I need to just do my best and then continue to put it out and move on to the next one. I'm constantly doing research and trying to figure out what other artists need, what they're struggling with. And I'd much rather just work on the art that I want to make and just put it out there and make prints and call it a day, and not have to do taxes and not have to manage all of these different things and respond to emails. Trust me, I absolutely have a ridiculously hard time with those things, but they're things that I have to do as an independent artist. I'm making this video because I feel like I'm hoping that other people feel how much easier and less stressful life becomes once you accept and realize this reality. And then it frees you to be able to make a decision about how to go about your life and have less confusion. So for example, one way is to decide, okay, I can work a specific job. Maybe it's art related, maybe it isn't. And then I can do art for myself on the side. And maybe that's as a hobby, or maybe that's as, one day this is going to be big, but I'm just going to go through the trenches now and not starve by having a regular job. Or you could do a steady job and do that until you can build enough skills so that you can transition into a studio job or a freelance position where that is the thing that you're doing now and you're still providing value in the more traditional way. Although it's a good idea to start off with a steady job because it can take a lot longer to build those skills than with other careers where it's easier to get like internships and things like that to support you while you're building those skills. And the last way I kind of see this working is you can basically split your artistic career into two, which is something that I'm doing, and I'm still in the process of making this system work really seamlessly. And I think a lot of other artists are doing this very well, especially the ones that are some of the most popular, I believe, are doing this very well. And basically you split your art career into things that you do for your audience, and then you do things that you do for your absolute truest fans and your true fans to come in the future. So a lot of times this can look like education. A lot of artists are making educational content and helping others in order to receive some support and income so that they can continue to make the artwork that they love. A lot of artists are providing entertainment in some ways where their art and the creation factor of that is entertaining for an audience. So for example, a lot of Twitch streamers, a big part of that is the entertainment factor. And another part of that is the connection where you're kind of a friend to someone who's on the same journey and they can communicate with you on a regular basis and they're willing to support you because you're giving them that value in their moment of need as they're progressing. So to summarize this video, basically you need to find a way to provide value to others as an artist if you want to be able to earn money as an artist. And if you want to do that with the ultimate romantic visual artist job where you're painting and you just sell your paintings, or you're doing commissions and you're just making a living completely from that, recognize that if you're not one of the very, 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 very lucky few to do that straight out of like college age, it's going to take a long time and you need to prepare for that. Otherwise, understand that that's just how the world works. Every single job out there has to do things that they don't want to do. And most jobs, the entire process is what people don't want to do. And that's where you have all kinds of different things that are created for people to enjoy themselves, like vacations, going out, bars, drinking, all that kind of stuff. I won't go too much into what my thoughts are on that, but I see all these things as, a way to experience the life that we really do want to live. And then we have the work that, a lot of people don't really like. A lot of people are waiting until Friday, waiting until the weekend. That I think you don't have to go that far, or anyone really has to go that far to where they feel like their life only exists outside of a certain building. But I do believe that you do have to be aware that you have to do some things that you don't want to do for a pretty decent amount of time at the very least before you can make it as a completely successful completely I do whatever I want whenever I want artist. And so for some people, that's not even something that they really want or really need. And I think this clarity will be really refreshing for you. It was for me, because I realized that I'm not bad or evil if I promote or if I follow a certain trend or if I hop on a certain trend that I see that I actually enjoy. It's just part of life. Everyone is doing it. I shouldn't feel like I'm less than others because I'm not following this perfect dream. I'm not doing it the right way that you're supposed to as an artist. I think a lot of people can feel pushed to be something that they're really not because of that they might get judgment for others. So hopefully you won't feel that, and you'll be able to make some strides towards supporting yourself first and creating the artwork you want at the very end of the day, instead of worrying too much about what others think and the criticisms that they might put on you for chasing your dreams in a logical way, thinking about it step by step, thinking about the finances that you'll need to be able to achieve them. So with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching me this year. It has been quite the year for me. I have made a ton of discoveries on everything in my entire life, these past couple years especially, but this year was quite a big one with some big ups and downs, and I'm looking forward to an incredible year next year. I really have really high hopes for it, and I am looking forward to seeing you all in person, hopefully at some point next year, to really celebrate that. Yeah, until then, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. This will come out right after Christmas, and happy holidays, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.